I was in Mableton, Georgia, living above a laundromat. It was convenient because all I had to do was take my laundry down the back staircase and go in, wash my clothes. We never had any trouble. Met a couple of people that was friendly. Brought my clothes back up. But one night before a mishap happened, I had a bad dream. Now, mind you, I stayed in the apartment with my husband and a couple of other guys. It was a 2 bedroom. And they had like bunk beds in their room. Nobody ever crossed anybody. Everybody got along pretty good. They threw mad parties and all kind of stuff. They watched pay-per-view fights and stuff. And I was in there one, being the only black person there. Some Latino guy was fighting. I think it was, they called him the Golden Boy, was fighting somebody, and he was black, and the black man won. And I couldn't really show that I was happy because he won, because you know um, they was all about the Golden Boy. But anyway, had a bad nightmare about somebody being in that laundromat getting stabbed. Right after that, I kept watching out. And in that neighborhood, it was pretty good. Most everybody was got along good. But I remember walking one day, which nobody ever bothered me, ever, or my daughter, or my niece, or anybody in my family. But I was walking with this one girl one day. I was showing her where the pool was, and it was summertime. And I heard some girls in the distance, not too far in the distance, yell out something about, look at them clothes or something like that. And the heifer that was with me is like instigator, two-faced serpent. So I didn't really bother with what they were saying because it seemed like every time I'm with this person, some bullshit pop off anyway. So I didn't take it. I took it with a grain of salt, actually. Continued to walk, and they did. They yelled out something about some clothes, and I knew my clothes was all right. This woman that I was with always dressed frumpy, but anyway, she whispered to me, "They talking about your clothes." I didn't know. I ignored it and kept going. I was watching out because I said maybe something's gonna happen in that laundromat, so I need to stay away from it. But the guys had a party. I didn't want to have nothing to do with it, so I stayed away from those guys. When they party all night long. They drugs involved as well. I didn't have anything to do with that, nor do I ever. have anything to do with the drug scenes or whatever. I remember going to one party where they it was all in the house. They were smoking weed. And I know I caught a contact. I knew it because I became hungry afterwards, and I had to find something to eat. And I think I popped some popcorn and ate some popcorn, but no, I don't have anything to do with drugs. But that night, the guys were partying, and I went in my room, and I usually watch TV, play video games, or play music on my stereo. Enjoying the peace and quiet in my room. The guys in the kitchen and in the living room, and it was allergy season, and I took a Benadryl, went to sleep. I always locked my door, and I felt uh, safe because nobody ever bothered me. I woke up the next morning thinking that my husband was in the bed with me, and I was facing the door. I had on a little skimpy dress that I wore at night that was tight to my body. I looked at the door, and the door was open, like this much open. I didn't check to see if any who was behind me in the bed. I assumed that it was my husband. I got up off the bed, walked to the door, closed the door, turned around. One of the guys that party with, and I knew, and guys in that apartment worked with him. He had his own business. Was laying on the other side of the bed. This man, what woke me up was he was rubbing on me. Nothing different because it's what my husband would do. He was rub on. He would rub on me. So I flipped out. No, I told him, I said, you need to get your up. You need to get your butt up. Get the hell up out of here. And he was like, he wouldn't say nothing. Just still, like, his eyes was open, but he won't say nothing. I said, you need to get up and get out their bed. He wouldn't move. So I went looking for my husband. He was in the kitchen. And the guys was like, zombied out, zoned out, standing around. And I called out for my husband, and I said, I need to show you something. Come here. So I took him back to the room. If I'd have known that he was going to take that man out, like really take him out, I would have pulled that man off that bed myself and took him out myself, put him outside. But anyway, he looked in the room, he got mad, and he went back to the kitchen, and he said, y'all come on, help me get this motherfucker out my bed. They went to the room and they looked, but see, they was in that daze, like, been up all night using drugs, days. And they won't move, and they was like still looking. And I'm sitting there like in the living room